Well, good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve and Gabriella Collins coming to you from beautiful San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. Today is a day that we all, as Americans who experienced it, will remember for the rest of our lives. The morning we watched the news and we saw what was happening, and confusion at first and uncertainty at first, until the second airplane hit the Twin Towers, and then it became evident what was happening in our country. And I want to address that very quickly along these lines. How do you show up? How do you handle when unexpected devastation knocks on your door? I would like to plant this seed for you to think about before we move forward. Remembering is good. Changing is best. Remembering is good. Changing is best. What do I mean by that? Many of us remember and will never forget. We will never forget many situations that have occurred in our lives. And yet, remembering does not come close to honoring those whose lives were lost, as much as changing our personal lives honors their lives. What do I mean by that? What might be an example of that? 17 years ago on this morning, thousands of people left their home not knowing that they were not going to return that evening. Did they leave angry? Did they leave upset? Did they live in an argument? Did they forget to say goodbye to the kids? Did they forget to acknowledge their spouse? Did they leave unfinished business? And there were relationships under pressure that would never have an opportunity to reconcile again. So rather than just remembering, how can you change? How can we change the way that we currently live our life, reflecting on those sweet souls who lost their lives 17 years ago today? We can change by being more forgiving, by being more gracious, by being more loving, by cutting people slack in our lives, by not letting the little things get on your nerves to the point that it affects how you show up with other people. Choosing, here's the key, choosing to walk in a gratitude that comes from acknowledging how much we truly have, rather than focusing on what we lack. How do you show up when devastation hits your life? I think of one man as a great example in the Bible. Those of you that know may know the book of Job. Job was an unbelievably, incredibly awesome man. If people have ever wondered, why do bad things happen to good people, you might want to look at the book of Job, because it answers several questions about the sovereignty of the good Lord and people's ability to choose with their free will. There was a day when literally devastation showed up at his front door and had to take a seat. Job was one of the wealthiest men in all of the land. Huge family, lots of money, successful businesses, very giving, very generous, very loving, making an impact in his community. And if you read the book, you will discover that an attack was unleashed on Job, where it literally had to take a place in line as Job was listening. Meaning, one servant came in and said, "You're not going to believe this. Fire came down from the heavens. It wiped out all of your sheep and all of your camels. We have nothing. Everything is burned up and dead. And I'm the only one here left to tell you the story." And then it says, and while he was yet speaking, the next person came in. "You're not going to believe this, Job. We had a band of raiders that came in. They wiped out all of your lands, all of your stuff. They torched everything on fire. We lost everything, and I'm the only one left to tell you what's going on." And it says, and while he was still speaking, the bad news kept coming until the very end, the most devastating news of all. While one was still speaking, one came in and said, "Job, your sons and daughters are having a meal at your oldest child's place, as they normally do, where they meet together, and a huge rushing wind came in and crashed down on all of your children. All of your children have passed away at one time. They're all gone, all the servants, and I'm the only one that escaped to be able to tell you within a matter of minutes, everything he had was gone. How he responded is poignant and powerful. It says that he fell down in the dust and he said, "The Lord is given, the Lord is taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." You see, we don't understand sometimes, and yet we recognize there is one that does, and one that can redeem things, and one that can make things new, and one that can turn things around when it seems hopeless, and one that can make a difference when it doesn't seem that a difference can be made in your deepest, darkest time and deepest and darkest hours. There's one who knows the details and can bring beauty out of those ashes, and can cause you to live again, and can cause you to breathe again, and can cause you to enjoy again. There's always hope, ladies and gentlemen. There's always hope. How do you show up when devastation hits your front door? How do you show up, and what is appropriate? It's different for everybody. There's no right or wrong. There's just different levels of understanding in your faith that cause some to rage and others to throw up the white flag of surrender and say, "I don't understand it, but I trust that you can work all things together for good." Today, I challenge you not just to remember, I challenge you to ask yourself how you can change, how you can make a difference, how you can do things differently, how you can have an awareness that causes you to show up differently in life. That's my challenge to you. Have a great day, guys.